How's it going?
All right.
In the fall, we were sitting in this classroom thinking what we wanted to do. As we went on, we started to get a little bit cranky, and we were kind of getting a little hungry. So we wanted to go off campus and go get some breakfast. But the problem is we're not allowed to leave school. So we wanted someone to deliver it to us. When we thought about it, no company really delivers breakfast, and we wanted to change that. So that's why we created Muffin Man. Hi, I'm Austin Alman. I'm the CEO of Muffin Man. I plan on attending Judson University and majoring in marketing. I also have food industry related experience in management.
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer. I'm a senior at Muffin Estates High School. I will be attending Harper for 2 years and then transferring to DePaul to major in sports marketing. And I have experience in food industry and retail.
And I'm Robert. I'll be attending Harper College, and meanwhile transferring to NIU afterwards. I have a lot of, I've been in the food industry as well as the sales industry.
Hi, I'm Nathan Edwards. I'm the Chief Analytics Officer. I'm attending Butler University to major in finance, and I have experience in the food industry as well as retail and sales.
What we found is that more than half of Americans skip breakfast. And we also find that almost half of Americans get breakfast through fast food, such as McDonald's, Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts. Why do they skip breakfast? Because they don't have time or the inconvenience. This is one of the quotes we found off the food website.
So our solution was to create a breakfast delivery system that's affordable, that delivers high quality breakfast to our customers' home, office, or workplace, or at school. So who we are competing against, we're competing against the likes of third-party delivery systems like Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates. What kind of separates us from them is that we specialize in breakfast delivery. We're focused in Chicago. Most of those guys have not even reached Chicago yet, or the Midwest area, and we're built to serve college students and young urban professionals.
Right now, our total addressable market is at 27,348,720. This is all based off of us going for young suburban professionals in the Chicagoland area.
So our MVP process, we were very direct. It was very hands-on. We delivered Starbucks to the students and stuff like that. The day before, we were going to send out Google Forms to the students via email. We put it out on Twitter. We did Twitter blasts. We did certain promotions. So when we accepted the orders through Google Forms, we took the time the night before. We adjusted the orders. We placed the orders at the store and stuff like that. And the next day, we set up shop right outside the school doors and made the deliveries and collected the cash. So what we have learned, we learned that our cost structure wasn't exactly the best. We were originally charging just a flat $2 delivery fee. We learned that a lot of people were taking advantage of that, because we would have guys that would make $25 orders and only being charged $2, the same amount for someone that's being charged $9 as with $2. So then we changed it to, we're going to charge 35%. Anything under $7, we're only going to, for anything under $7, we're going to only charge $2 for it. So if it's a $3 meal, it's going to be an additional $2, so $5 upcharge, until it gets to $7 where it's 35%. We also had to refine our marketing techniques. After our first day, we kind of went back, we looked at it, we're like, well, we kind of evaluated the posters that we put up. Some of them got taken down. It kind of went with the idea that we were going to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. So we learned later on that they were going to have to take the flyers down. But anyways, we went to more of a Twitter direct approach, and we found out that that actually worked better. We were able to directly communicate to them. And it was in an environment that they were the most comfortable in, and we definitely got the best response through social media. We also learned that text message reminders, we signed up through Remind 101 to, so in the Google Forms, instead of just asking just for their email, we also asked for their phone number. There we were able to remind them, because some guys were forgetting to pick it up, and we had to go directly to them and stuff. The reminders was just a nice little thing that we were able to add on for free cost. And also another thing we learned, and it kind of hit on it before, is we learned, and what we have developed through the MVP process is that we developed a direct relationship with our customer base. We were there on Twitter, but we were also there hands-on. We were there in the school. People saw us. People saw our logo. They directed towards us, and we thought that was the biggest thing.
All right, right now our projected growth is based off about 3 things. Right now, 1 is based off our delivery cars, 2 based off our social media ads, and 3 based off just totally expanding. Right now, our chart looks, this is what our chart looks like for our potential profit. And we are seeking $12,000, and that money will be going toward rentals of cars, advertisements, the insurance, the filing fees, as well as the equipment to run the company. Right now, our exit strategy, we are planning on selling to a strategic investor, and at a 10% stake, you'll be receiving, for your $12,000 investment, $67,108.50.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Muffin Man, and we thank you for your time. Stay hungry.
Want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. You did your MVP. How many orders did you take in?
We did 20 orders,
So 20 orders. How much was the revenue?
$40.
Okay, so it was $2 per. And then your profit was?
The $40.
For $40.
Because it's a straight up charge of $2.
But you didn't charge, I mean, did it cost you anything for gas? Didn't cost you anything? There were no other expenses involved?
We use our own personal equipment in terms of coolers and stuff like that. In terms of gas, we didn't necessarily factor that in because it was already on our way to school anyways.
Okay. So you'll have to go ahead and make sure that you've got that clarified, because nothing is for nothing, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to figure that out. But how about you're paying for the product up front, right? So you're going to Starbucks, you're buying the coffee or whatever it is, right? And then you're coming back to school and then you're collecting the money. And you said one of the issues or one of the concerns that you had was someone wasn't picking up their product right away, right? What happens in the event that, so you made the $40, they just never pick it up and they never pay you for it?
That was one of the biggest things, but
Did that make you nervous?
it definitely made us nervous. We thought that was going to actually happen a lot. It necessarily didn't, and that's kind of why we added the text message reminder. We have actually found the people that didn't pay us, and we took it as a reminder if they didn't pay us that we weren't going to. With that was our mutual agreement that we weren't going to play that game twice. It definitely was a concern, but that was something that was addressed when they came to pick it up. We just factored it into the $2 into their final cost.
Okay. So possibly there may be a better model in that you may want to go ahead and consider charging up front.
Yeah.
Prepay, right? Prepay is always best because that way you're taking a lot less risk.
Well, yeah. Ideally, that's what we wanted to do. We were trying to go with the leanest approach possible to this.
Yeah.
But definitely in the future.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what an MVP is for, right? You're trying to figure those things out. And you do have pains. And by the way, the nervousness, that's why things get changed. You don't like being nervous, right? So
Yeah.
you don't want to be on the hook for that.
Yeah, the more we definitely did it, the more we experienced it. The operational part to it, it definitely got refined, and it definitely became smooth. It definitely became routine and stuff like that.
What was the population, so of the 20 orders, how many students, how many teachers, you know what the ratio was?
I believe there was a total of like maybe 4 teacher orders. And the rest were from students themselves.
Why Starbucks?
Well, we learned that Dunkin' Donuts was potentially maybe switching to that. Starbucks, we also found through surveys and stuff like that, Starbucks was the most preference and stuff.
Have they given them an option? Whether
Yeah.
it's Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks?
Oh yeah.
So, with that, we did want to put Dunkin' Donuts into our menu, but Dunkin' Donuts already runs a certain type of delivery system through their donuts, stuff like that. So what we did was we just took like what people wanted the most, which was Starbucks. But in the future, we do want to partner with Dunkin' Donuts. Now with Starbucks as well, we also got a rewards system set up. So when we built up a certain amount of rewards, we did get free coffee through that. So we weren't like always having to. We were getting free coffee basically.
And that's what we kind of used as like a promotional giveaway, where it's like, okay, well, we got this coffee. What are we going to do with it? I mean, we could drink it at 6:30 in the morning, or we could use this to go get some more customers.
Or use it towards your orders where you're gonna have some kind of breakage
No,
at,
yeah.
at some point. So I mean, 2 big orders wouldn't profit for the day or the week or whatever it is that you're. Prepay is definitely,
Yeah, yeah. Ideally, that's.
Were people ordering food or coffee? Like, what was the mix there?
To be honest with you, it was honestly a combination of both. I think a lot of people figured when we were going to do it is if they're going to get a coffee, they might as well get a pastry as well. It's kind of.
Do you know what your average order amount was?
Yeah, the average order amount without the $2 delivery fee, it was $7.
$7.
Yeah, that's where we got the number. If it's over $7, we were going to add 35%.
you guys check, is there any kind of insurance liability? You driving your own vehicles or
Touching food.
food, somebody gets sick from food poisoning and.
Yeah, well, we made the call to, I think it was the director of, it was the Hoffman Estates and the Schaumburg director of sanitation. They said if we're a third party and we're not touching the direct raw food itself, we're not going to be held liable for the illness or sickness of it. The driver's insurance is something we definitely looked into. Well, I mean,
But as long as we're just moving it from A to B and
Yeah.
not actually touching the food, we should wear it.
yeah, there's not much liability there.
What about tips? You guys get tipped at all on top of the service charge?
Unfortunately not. We plan to do it more of a door-to-door thing, and when the sales get larger, we plan to switch to more of like more diner oriented, like JoJo's or even like IHOP, where you're getting like a full-out meal. Where we're planning to collect tips and stuff like that.
You guys plan on putting the tips into the company, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
How did you get the products into the consumer's hand? Did you have like a centralized meeting spot somewhere in the school, or like,
Yeah, we
chasing people around? How did that
we
work?
set up we set up shop on the shelf, and it was literally us. It was a folding table, a few coolers, and our Muffin Man bag and stuff. And when they walked in, they saw us. And I think that's also what made it easier for them to like, when they're walking by us, then they'll either remember or I'm like, oh man, I still got to pay. Type of thing too.
Did you have any issues where they forgot their money and they remembered to get their food, they just didn't have any cash on them? Was that an issue?
No, that wasn't an issue.
Okay.
Someone was talking about your total addressable market, and you said it was like 27 mil plus. How'd you come up with that number?
Well, if you go back to it. Alright, so we found that because we searched the professionals in the Chicagoland area.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Alright, so as of right now, we based the total addressable market off such as like college students or young professionals who are based in Chicagoland and not like among the world.
Okay, so the TAM,
Yeah.
we took it from young urban professionals of like the top 15. I think it was like the top 12 most populated cities with overall households with an income of like $200,000 or something like that. That's where that number comes from. The dollar amount is, I think it's times the overall delivery fee. The sizable addressable market is what we're going to be targeting here in Chicago.
Okay, so again, how did you come up with the
27.
Yeah, 27 million? That's a number that you're going to multiply something by something in order to come up with that number. Right, you know?
I believe that's just what we found, like what they would add, like the entire population would pay.
Well, the entire population would pay.
Times $7, times 7 times the number of days in a
Oh,
month.
when we searched on the website, we searched for that category, and then also said like on average, so what they
We
paid.
calculated on average what they're going to pay per order. So we took the average order amount as 12. We did it by times 0.35, and then we multiplied it in by the total market. So if everyone every person out there decided to go with us, then that's the total dollar
Is it
amount.
annually?
That's
That is annual.
It's an annual.
Yeah.
You were saying something about, you had like three, can you go back to your competitors? You had like 3 or 4 different, Grubhub was one, right, DoorDash, Postmates. And you were talking about some of them not being in the Chicagoland market. Was that DoorDash and Postmates?
Okay, so DoorDash and Postmates are not focused in Chicago. That's where we come up with the fact that they're not even in our area. I believe DoorDash is like in Minnesota or something like that. Grubhub is obviously it's a national company and stuff like that. Although you won't find a breakfast spot. You won't find a breakfast.
So tell me a little bit how Grubhub works.
So with Grubhub, you would go to their app. You would have to type in your zip code, and it would only do specific restaurants within your area of like a 9-mile radius. But the thing is, they don't open. Grubhub doesn't start delivering till 10 a.m. around that, and by then the restaurants are still limited because there's not as many open.
And what's their model? How do they collect money?
It's the 35% model.
So they're charging 35%?
Yes.
Up front?
35% of the order, yeah.
So you're not paying them when they come to the door, you're paying them on the app, right? I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so you've considered an app, doing some sort of an app?
Yeah, eventually in the bigger picture, we would like to switch to more of an app website base, and I think that's where we wanted to do the whole prepay thing,
Yep.
where we can implement that.
Yep. And then I recall you talking about needing $12,000. And one of the items that you had was equipment. What would the equipment be?
Right now, our equipment right now is coolers, and then ideally hot boxes in the bigger picture, something that we could use to keep the food warm. You'll find it mainly in catering vans and stuff like that. You just put it on a certain pan, and it just keeps the food warm. And that's what you usually put with the meals. The meals would go in there.
Do you have a breakdown for the $12,000, how that all works out?
It's on our financial models.
Right now, the equipment came out to, I believe, $1,800.
The equipment was $1,800? And then what was the other?
The car lease, I believe, came out to $2,400.
So you've got a van lease,
Yes.
it's 24.
And then I believe $1,200 in marketing ads. Insurance came out to about $600. Filing fees were about $2. And then we didn't put up there we took like a little $4,000 for. So $4,000 was built in mainly because we needed a little cushion, we were told. So we averaged out like a $2,000 cushion just in case. And then basically we were told like just for our time, like what we felt like the time was worth, and we just put a $2,000 valuation.
Also,
It's always good, by the way, to have a war chest, just saying.
Yeah. Well, the $4,000 is also what we call it our starting inventory, which is where we're going to make the initial purchases and stuff like that with that $4,000.
How long did you run the MVP?
We ran it for 4 weeks and stuff like that.
4 weeks.
Yes.
And then of the, do you recall of the 20 orders, how many of them were repeat? Were they all first time?
We definitely got a lot more. It was definitely more consistent people and stuff.
So let's say 4 people did it 5 times, or?
Oh no. It was probably about, what would you say, Austin?
For repeat customers. I think we had, I can't remember off the top of my head, I believe that we had 6 people that would order from us regularly. They wouldn't order every single time that we were set up, but they would definitely come back, and they also helped us spread the word too, because they ended up really loving our product and how we delivered it and what they got from it. So they ended up spreading it around the school, and that's how we also ended up getting more people coming to us and asking us when we were going to deliver next.
And then, sorry to jump around, but so this $12,000, the intention would be to start up in all of the Chicagoland area, just at this district? Is there, do you have
So when we get the startup money, we are going to open it up more to residential and stuff like that. Yes, we're the 4 of us are going to work more in the Chicagoland area and stuff like that.
have you thought, so if you open this thing up to residential, what's nice about what you've done so far is you've got a central delivery point. So I think it really starts jacking around with the numbers when you think about having to go to individual homes and and some of the insurance, implications and liabilities and things like that, so just make sure you incorporate that into your thought process. You have to have that operating expense in there.
Guys, can I ask you a question? Your MVP was focused on high school kids, right? And
Yes.
teachers, but that's not your, that was very convenient. It was by far, I think, the most effective MVP that was run. But that's not your target customer per se in the long run. So what are your plans to go about locating and communicating to those young urban professionals? Because you haven't done that yet.
Yeah, absolutely. We decided to do with the younger urban professionals. Obviously, we need to get more face time with them, and we decided to go. We live in a huge population of younger professionals on the north side of Chicago, and that's something what we plan to do is to go down there, go up to people, put flyers into doors, kind of not doors, flyers into like car window, the windshields and stuff like that. We're more of a face-to-face group. We also plan to target through social media and stuff. We're going to target more restaurants in that area, of course, and stuff like that. Develop a reputation.
The best thing about living out here is that we do live in a quiet area, but we're an hour away from the city as well, where there's a whole bunch of corporations and stuff like that that do have younger professionals that do work there, and we could be wanting to deliver to them as well, deliver on one special floor that is the marketing team that wants to get coffee or something like that.
Great point, by the way.
That being said, our major goal is to influence volume, and the focus is for us is that we're going to target floors of companies or warehouses or whatever and stuff like that.
Yeah, to both Jay's point, you're exactly correct. It's a much denser population, and you can deliver more orders into just one residential home at a time, so that's probably a smart move.
There's another competitor you might spend some time just researching, and it's called Fuda. Are you familiar with that one? I think maybe they're not around anymore, but they're in. My understanding was they're in the city of Chicago, and that was kind of their concept was to go right to corporations and bring local vendors into the business where you can there might be some interesting ideas, things you could learn from.
No, yeah,
Take a look at that as you hone this thing in.
Yeah. By the way, I remember seeing you when you first came to class on that day one, and it's night and day, guys. I'm not using guys, but seriously, it's amazing what you've done so far, and I think you've learned a lot from this class, and I think going forward it's going to really benefit you greatly, kind of going through this type of process. And sometimes this feels like it's an inquisition of some sort, that you're on this hot seat, and that's exactly what happens in business. Is you get the sweat coming down from your pits down to your belt buckle, and it's like, oof, right? I mean, it really gets tough, right? But you handled it well. You did a great job. We're very, very proud of what you've done. I think your concept's a good one. I think that there is a market for it. You need to hone in on a bunch of different things that are kind of open. So if you happen to make it to the next round, try to fill in some of those gaps. But congratulations, I think you did a good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.